Hey, this is John with Proactive here in Greenville, South Carolina. We're in the process of building out our second trailer. We already have one, and I thought in the process of doing this, I'd give you some insight as to these Titan hose reels. We got some 4318 stainless steel reels we picked up from Power Washing Products. Shout out to Lori and Diane down there. They're real great. As a side note, Titan hose reels are made not very far from them, and because Titan doesn't stock their stuff due to some taxation inventory, they make them to order. It's pretty good because they've got a great relationship with them, and they'll get them shipped out to you pretty quick, and you won't find a better price. So shout out to Pressure Washer Products down in Florida. When we started to mount these reels on the trailer, we decided to mount them suspended above the pumps. We'll be mounting 3 reels suspended, 2 1/2-inch manifold reels, one for an 8-gallon-a-minute machine and one for a 4-gallon-a-minute machine, as well as a 1-inch manifold reel for the water supply. I'll give you an update video when we're done as the finished product. But we did learn some stuff as we mounted these, and so I wanted to go ahead and give you some idea of what we learned. The frame we ended up building was, we've gone 60 inches off the floor with this frame. The corner pieces are 2x2 angle iron that are 1/4 of an inch thick. The rest of it is 2x2 angle iron 3/16 of an inch thick. We did side braces, and then we also mounted the hose reels with another support brace. So let me tell you about that for a second. When we were determining what to do with these reels, we were trying to figure out how to mount them. So when you look at the bottom of the reel, what you see is there's a 4-bolt pattern they have on the reel. So from the inside bolt to the inside bolt hole is 10 inches on center, and from the outside bolt hole to the outside bolt hole is 12 inches on center. You have one of those on each side. So initially we were trying to mount the rail. We determined we would mount the rail with the flat side on the bottom and just worry about 10 inches on center side to side. As we started to put this together, we realized we might want to brace it a little bit better, so we flipped the angle iron over and we decided to go inside to inside with the reel, as you could see, therefore providing some additional support from the side pieces as they squeeze in on the side. So what we did is we constructed the side pieces with exactly 14 inches opening from here to here. There's exactly 14 inches. So the reel itself is 14 inches wide from outside corner to outside corner. But what you'll discover when you look at the reel a little bit closer is that there are some bolts on the outside supporting the reel. So what we have done is we determined that we would mount this reel with bolts from the upper side, 4 bolts from the up, and those are 10 inches on center from side to side. I'll get into the measurements left and right. But we also went ahead and decided that we would pull these bolts right here on each corner. We would come back and drill a hole forward to go back through the hole. Therefore, there's going to be 4 bolts on the side of each one. So that way they have side support and top support. Now the way we mounted this originally was we went ahead and pushed it up into the gap, secured it with a vise, a couple clamps. We marked the holes, pulled it down and drilled, but the reality is lining up these top holes and these side holes are so precise that it was very difficult. So the second go around we didn't do that. What we decided to do was we went ahead and drilled the holes here. Now the way we did that is from the outside of the angle iron on the top to the center is 1 1/8. The outside of the angle iron on the top to the center is 1 1/8. And because we're 14 inches gap here, we then created exactly a 12-inch on center hole pattern. We then chose to use the 21 3/8 hole pattern here to here. So 21 3/8 inches exactly center to center here. We went ahead and drilled those 4. Then when we lift the reel in place, they line up perfectly. And then what we realized is we had enough space to come back on the inside and drill from the inside out the holes that were existing. Now the bolts that you'll need for this are pretty simple. First of all, the top bolts that are going from the top down are 3. They're The bolts themselves are 1 inch long. They're 1 inch long. They're 3/4 inch bolts, which means they have a 9/16 head and 9/16 nut on them. So you'll need 4 of those. You need a drill bit, 3/4 inch drill bit to drill through the steel, a little bit of lubricant, whatever oil you have laying around. And then when you look at the screws going through the face, we remove the ones from the Titan reel that were there originally. We retain the nuts. The original screws are here. They're 3/4 inches long. They're 1/4 inch in diameter. And so we extended that and purchased a 1 1/4 inch. That allowed us to go through the steel on the angle iron as well as to add a washer. And we reuse the same nuts off of the Titan hose reel. Of course, you'll need the ones we purchased have a 7/16 inch head, 7/16 inch ratchet. And so then we lift those up, screw them into place. Then we come back and screw from the inside out to mount that, to mount the side pieces and secure it. And so we really have a really stable hose reel mounted on the top. So we're gonna go ahead and finish mounting these last couple reels. We'll get a couple more things set up and then we'll give you an update on what it looks like. So once again, Titan hose reels, they're 44/18 stainless steel 1/2 inch diagram. I hope this helps you out when you're planning on how to mount these. They'll mount, of course, to a platform as well, but you get the same bolt patterns. We now have the 3 hose reels mounted, suspended over their areas where the pumps are. The hose reel on the left is a 40/18. It's a Titan 4018, and that's because it's got a 1 inch manifold for water. We use the larger manifold. We use a hose pipe coming from the house, and it stays 1 inch all the way until it goes into the tank. The other 2 hose reels are the Titan 4318. Those have a 1/2 inch manifold, and we mounted those above the pumps respectively. We're going to be using an 8-gallon and a 4-gallon a minute machine for those. When the Titan hose reels come in, they will have a male pipe thread on the inside. Way on the inside you can see. We use a 90-degree male to female 90-degree street. And then we also use a 45-degree connector. And so we use male going into the female, and then you'll come around here and there is a female. Now the reason we use a 45 is we continue to turn, you'll see that will line up with the actual drum of the hose wheel. So when the hose comes out of the input, it won't go up like a 90 and then have to be turned. It actually starts to reel pretty nicely. We did that on both of our reels, but as you can see, one of them stainless steel and the other one was brass. Now the difference in the two, I have some here to show you, is the brass and the stainless steel are both the same 1/2 inch male pipe thread to 1/2 inch female pipe thread. But if you look on the inside, the orifice of the brass one is a lot smaller than the orifice on the stainless steel one. So it's a little bit more open. It actually chokes down to about 3/8 on the inside of the brass one. So on the 8-gallon a minute machine, we will come off of the 8-gallon with 1/2 inch hose on a quick connect. It then goes up the side of the trailer support and it connects directly into the hose reel itself. We decided not to put a quick connect here. Once it comes out of the hose reel, the first 50 feet is 1/2 inch of pressure hose, and then we go down to 3/8 inch pressure hose from there. That takes a lot of pressure off the 8-gallon a minute machine. On the 4-gallon a minute side, we immediately go down to 3/8 inch. We feed off with a quick connect there. We run the hose around and up the same column support and ties directly into the hose reel here. Comes out directly at 3/8 inch. We've got about 200 feet of hose off there. Of course, we have extra hosing on the trailer. So as you can see, our 3 suspended hose reels are mounted at this particular time in the on the curb side, the resident curb side. We also have 2 additional hose reels. They're both Titan hose reels. They're on the back supporting our 12-volt system. We have a 12-volt video as well as a video showing our metering system that you can check out. But if you got any questions, comment below. Give us a call if you need any help on anything. And I appreciate you watching. Once again, this is John with Proactive here in Greenville, South Carolina.